A protest tonight over Spanish. It's no longer being taught at Highland Middle School. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt. The decision to cut that class was made by the middle school principal because of low school enrollment this year. WHAS11 Night Team's Alex Dieterer and photojournalist Levi Hammer talked with students and parents outside that JCPS board meeting tonight. Alex, what'd you learn from them?
Well, Doug, while the decision on what teachers to cut is out of the hands of the JCPS board, one Highland parent told me her mission tonight was to gain support and intervention from the school board to bring back Spanish classes to her kids' school. The rain did not keep away. Highland Middle School parents and students from addressing the school board face-to-face, asking for this.
Y postada por si tú asombrase si escribir ese documento y solo simplemente escribas.
Bring Spanish back to the classroom after it was cut by the school.
And having the amount of people here like just supporting us and trying to help get the Spanish class back is just really empowering.
One of those students is Cora Holcomb-Craner, a 7th grader at Highland.
Maybe we could actually do this.
Because of lower enrollment at the middle school, Highland was overstaffed and required to reduce 2 positions, including the Spanish teacher.
I am Latina, all right, and I was raised bilingual. I grew up in JCPS, later elementary, middle, and high school. But I also grew up in a time where socio-politically it wasn't encouraged to have a second language. I was often ostracized, made fun of, and there was a lot about assimilate and hide. I don't want that for my daughter.
Laura Escobar Ratcliffe is a parent to a Highland student and is the PTSA president for the middle school.
This impacts high school, it impacts testing into college, and college credit, and career readiness. This is a ripple effect, and we are shortchanging our students.
In a statement sent to WHAS11, a JCPS spokesperson said, in part, quote, the principal chose to eliminate the Spanish position and one other in order to retain teachers in required core subjects like math and English. Superintendent Marty Polio said the school board does not have any influence over that decision.
If the site-based council, which was a representative of teachers, parents, administration had made that decision, they could have made a decision that another teacher would have been overstaffed.
JCPS at Highland is working to provide an online Spanish class for students.
Right now we're doing an online Spanish class that hasn't really been set up yet, and while I am sure it'll still do amazing, right now we're just limited to reading articles and then answering questions, which is easily circumvented. Right now, we're told students like Cora have different Spanish-speaking substitutes in the classroom while the online teaching is finalized. Polio did say tonight that the former Highland Middle Spanish teacher was reassigned to another JCPS school. In studio, Alex Dieterer, the WHAS11 Night Team on your side.
Alex, thank you. And also new right here tonight, the JCPS board swore in its newest member tonight, local defense attorney Tricia Lister.
So help me God. Thank you.
The school board selecting Lister right there to replace Chris Kolb, who resigned to teach in the district. She's a JCPS grad herself and a parent to 3 JCPS graduates. Lister will represent District Number 2, which includes St. Matthews and parts of the Highlands of Louisville. She says she hopes to bring more transparency and optimism to the school board.
I really believe in public education. I think it ought to be the only education game in town. I want more students at JCPS. I want everybody in the community buying in and loving our schools. We do so many amazing things, and we can do those better if everybody believes in us and everybody becomes a cheerleader for JCPS.
Lister's name will be on the ballot in November for a full term on the board, so look for that. She's running unopposed after her opponent withdrew from the race just last week. Strong storms moving through Kentuckiana this afternoon, leading to tornado warning sirens blaring in some counties, even right here across Metro Louisville. In Clark County, the high winds knocked down over this large tree, sideswiping a mobile home. It got close in the Silver Lakes Point Mobile Home Park. It came close almost to making a direct hit. Some of the limbs causing damage to the roof and the back of the mobile home. Glenn Stevens says he's lived in the area for years, and this is the worst damage he's seen from a storm.
I haven't seen this kind of damage out here. These trees are huge. They're 150-year-old trees. It ain't like some of these other mobile home parks. These guys are huge. And it was just, see you later, good night.
See you later. Good night. People who live in the mobile home park say no one was hurt. It's so good to hear that tonight. And the National Weather Service teams are going to be out looking over the damage tomorrow to figure out what caused it. But Ben, even with those tornado sirens blaring, we never really got any reports of a tornado touchdown today.
Yeah, very thankful for that. We did have the tornado warning out for Oldham County, parts of Henry and Trimble County at around 2 p.m. today. Just a report of some of those trees down. Here's a look at what's happening now on Max AC radar satellite. The bulk of the activity out to our east. I want to show you a little sign of what's to come for later this week. If you look, there's this overall little swirl right here dropping into Missouri. This is an upper level low pressure system that's going to combine with the remnants of Hurricane Helene and give us a fairly wet weather pattern as we get closer to the weekend. But for now, showers fading away across the area. Temperatures are cooling down in the mid 60s in many locations, still 71 in Louisville. So temps won't drop much more than that. 66 our low temperature for tonight with mostly dry conditions. It'll stay mainly dry tomorrow and mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 70s. And what is now tropical storm Helene is expected to become a hurricane tomorrow and then make landfall in Florida Thursday and then spread some potentially heavy rain our way Friday. So we're going to look at probably the wettest 7-day forecast we've seen in a long time coming up here shortly.
All right, Ben, we don't want any more swirls. Thank you very much for that update. And more new coverage on the WHAS 11 night team. The Louisville mayor and other city leaders are meeting people where they live to help connect with our community. Tonight, Mayor Craig Greenberg holding this community gathering at the Americana Community Center in South Louisville. It was an opportunity for people who live in the South End to ask questions and get updates on crime, affordable housing, and other issues. It was also a chance for those who are new to the country to learn about their local government services.
For a lot of people, those things may have been disrupted in the places that they're from, or they may work differently in the places that they're from. So having this chance to reach out and have direct input and also direct response from their local government is very powerful.
Emily Dyer, the Americana Executive Director, says events like this go a long way toward building trust and rapport with the government and the community. Also new tonight, Kentucky State Police have released more details about a shooting that killed the Russell County Sheriff's Deputy Joshua Phipps. Investigators say the incident started as a traffic stop in Russell Springs. That's in southern Kentucky. During the traffic stop, police say Joshua Arnold drove off, leading to a chase. While searching for Arnold, Deputy Phipps entered a camper, and that's when police say shots were fired. Both Deputy Phipps and Arnold died at the hospital from gunshot wounds. Deputy Phipps was a 3-year veteran of the Russell County Sheriff's Office, and he was also a former Louisville Metro Police officer. The Kentucky couple who found the body of the suspected I-75 sniper receiving their first part of the reward money today. The city of London, Kentucky, sharing this photo of Fred and Sheila McCoy, along with Mayor Randall Weddle and KSP Trooper Scotty Pennington during the check presentation. The McCoys were live streaming their search through the Daniel Boone National Forest last week when they found the body of Joseph Couch. Today, they received a $10,000 check from WB Transport. Now, that's the first of several checks they're going to be getting as part of the total $35,000 reward. Tonight, a WHAS 11 News exclusive. Former Campbellsville, Kentucky University wrestling coach Frankie James speaking only to WHAS 11's Jose Alonso following his termination from the school. James was the coach when one of his wrestlers was killed, and another student is charged in his death. 6 months later, he was now fired from his job at Campbellsville. Now he says his firing is unfair.
Turnover at Campbellsville University's wrestling program. The private Christian school was at the center of a student who was killed, leading to the manhunt for Charles Escaleta in February.
So the month that he was here, we recognized that he was having some mental health issues, and we worked hard to make sure that those university resources were available to him, and he used those university resources, and those university resources failed him. 6
months after the tragedy on campus, head coach of the wrestling program, Frankie James, was fired from his position. He founded the program in 2004.
Because I was so hurt and upset. How do you treat someone like this? You know, we're a private Christian school. You know, you're not doing what's best for your students or your longtime employees right now. What is going on? It just feels like a betrayal, and they've just needed someone to kind of put this on, and so yeah, they're making me the scapegoat. Is what it seems like. Yeah.
For the first time, he's speaking out on what he's calling an unjust firing. His termination letter says he was discharged with cause as a result of how he interacted with his team during this tragic time.
Our team healed, and we were moving on, and we were ready to go and start a new season and start a new year. And like I said, a week before, you wait until a week before to make this decision. It happened in February. How do you wait 6 months to make this decision when everybody's healed up?
I reached out to the university and asked them for more details on Mr. James's termination. I also asked them if they received letters and emails from alumni looking for some clarity on the termination as well. The university responded saying they do not comment on private matters.
I think that's been their goal, is to be quiet and kind of sweep it under the rug, and yeah, I think they're going to stay quiet.
James calls 18-year-old Montana native Josiah Kilman a kind person and says the loss continues to eat at him.
That's a terrible thing, you know, I brought him here, so I feel awful and terrible about that. So yeah, there's a lot of trust there from the family and from the individual, and coming, you know, and so they're trusting my reputation. They're coming out to wrestle for our program, and yeah, it's just a tragedy. People are invested in the wrestling program here in my 20 years here, and they want to know what's going on. How could a private Christian university treat someone this way?
A new semester on campus with many questions left unanswered. In Campbellsville, Jose Alonso, WHAS11 on your side.
And the termination also stated that James can no longer speak with current students or be on campus without permission. James says he still has personal items there on the campus. He's trying to get back, but the university, he says, won't answer him or his lawyer.